Parshas Sissa probably contains one of the most famous verses about Shabbos. Let's see how we can make this relevant for us. Let's have a look. I feel silly not saying this with a cup of grape juice or wine in my hands, but it says, "V'shamar b'nei Yisrael Shabbos." The Jewish people kept Shabbos. La'asos es Shabbos l'daros bris olam, to observe Shabbos in an everlasting way, an eternal covenant. A sign between us and Hashem. Because 6 days, Hashem made the heaven and earth. And on the seventh he rested. Anyone notice something odd about that? It doesn't say Hashem created the world in 6 days. It says Hashem created the world 6 days. What does that mean? Explains the Orach Chaim something phenomenal. Hashem created a 6-day world. Hashem created a world which is only supposed to last for 6 days. What happens? Shabbos reinvigorates. Shabbos provides energy. Shabbos gives it the spiritual propensity to allow the world to last for another 6 days. You've got 6 days, you've got Shabbos, then you've got another 6 days, another lease of life, so to speak. Says the Orach Chaim elsewhere, that's why we have a bris milah on the 8th day, because that guarantees that a baby will live through Shabbos. And therefore it gets its energy. It gets its spiritual, if you like, core that expresses itself into its being. Shabbos is a day that's supposed to give us energy. Shabbos is not just a day where we relax, of course it is as well. Where we sleep, of course it is as well. Where we spend time with family, of course it is as well. It's supposed to give us spiritual energy. How? How so? Let me quote you a phenomenal Rav Dessler, as well as a social psychology experiment. We'll start with Rav Dessler. Rav Dessler writes a fascinating question. He says, hold on a second, Rashi writes that when Shabbos comes in, we're supposed to imagine it as if our work is done. What does it mean as if our work is done? You've got a project, you're working all week. Friday comes along, you have to stop before Shabbos comes in. It's not done, I'm going to finish after Shabbos. What does it mean your work is done? You have to have that mindset. There was a social psychology experiment whereby they took waiters, waitresses, who had phenomenal memories. They could remember orders without writing them down. And they were asking how long it took them until they forgot the order. And they found the answer was, they remembered the order until they served the food. In other words, once they served the food, it was no longer relevant, that information. And therefore they forgot about it. When Shabbos comes along, the weekday's not relevant. When Shabbos comes along, you get pulled out of the rat race, so to speak. The little details, you get brought into something bigger, something higher. Bigger picture, that gives us energy. And the week isn't relevant anymore. That gives us spiritual energy. And then another 6 days, because now the world has context. Now the world has purpose. Now it can come back into the general details with a new sense of invigoration, energy. It's a sign. It's a sign that Hashem has invested in us, that we have a purpose, a mission. We bring godliness down to our very being.